Stepped out of the service. It just wrapped up and I came over here to do this live shot. It was definitely a very somber moment, but there was a lot of people that were laughing through their tears. Clearly, Deputy Mark Burbridge was a funny guy. There was a lot of funny stories about him, and his children actually kind of surprised the crowd, I want to say, when they did step up to speak. His stepdaughter talked about him winning her over as a 4-year-old, talked about him as a mechanic, and she said he taught her to be independent. One of the quotes she said was, "He was our hero every day." His son also spoke. He read from a letter that he said he left on his father's casket. He said, "We were going to do a lot together." And one funny story, like I was telling you about earlier, a lot of people smiling and laughing through tears. His son said, "I must thank you for taking me to Hooters on my 10th birthday." And his daughter was the third one to speak. She said that he had a sweet tooth and that he was a hero because he protected me from the monsters under the bed and on the streets. He was a great cop, but an amazing dad. And that's really something that everyone had to say about Deputy Burbridge, that he was a great guy. A lot of people from the public where I sat that I was talking to, they all had a lot of great memories about him. Very well liked in the community. There was about 1,000 members of the public there, and then of course about 1,000 law enforcement members. Craig and Jen, I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Nice job, Megan, painting a picture of raw emotion with humor. And you said the children got up and spoke, which was a surprise to all of us. But you can't help, right, of thinking about dreams dashed. They had so many hopes of what their father, the deputy, was going to teach them. A week ago at this time, he was pretty much here, and now a week later, he's gone. Did you get any of that sense while you were inside the Mid-America Center?
Absolutely. When his stepdaughter went up to speak, she was the first one of his children to speak. She was crying. And everyone, when they announced that the children were going to speak, we're going to share memories, it felt like everyone in the crowd kind of steeled themselves because they knew this is going to be emotional. Like you were saying earlier, no one really expected them to talk. They weren't on the program to speak, but definitely some amazing memories to share of their father. And like I said, the son said that they had a lot that they were going to do together. The son said that he was waiting for Deputy Burbridge to give him his first beer. So definitely, like you were saying, a lot of dreams dashed, and this funeral is definitely a time of mourning for a lot of people. I think for a lot of people it became real that this did happen. This happened in the Council Bluffs community. Craig and Jen, back to you guys.
Megan, the pastor did also seem to talk to all law enforcement in the audience to let them know that he thanks all of them for their service. So it really was a tribute to everyone in this field as well. Did it feel that way in person?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there was no denying that there was a huge law enforcement, large first responder presence there, and I can only imagine, how much the service really made them feel and how powerful it must have been to them to know that it was one of their own. It was a member of their brotherhood who had died. But yes, definitely a lot of thanking of law enforcement. A lot of both pastors talked about, thanking law enforcement even when they pull you over, letting them know that you do appreciate them and that they are appreciated in this community. One pastor did say, we're really good at coming together, and this isn't a direct quote, but essentially we're really good at coming together when tragedies like this happen. But what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next month? When this has kind of died down a little bit, how are we going to continue to show in law enforcement that the sacrifice that they make every day is worth it? So definitely a lot was spoken to the members of law enforcement, definitely a lot of members there to experience this service.
All right, Megan Stewart for us, fantastic job really bringing that message home.